I don't know, man. I don't know if they're ready today. I don't know if they're ready today. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, guys, it's been a couple days. You know, we've been working hard here in camp. Me and the champ, the champ Yugo Osaki. We've been busting our ass. You know, we've been doing our thing. So I've been a little busy. Haven't been able to come on live and talk to you guys as much as I want. But listen, when something is important to you in life, you make time for it. So that's what we're making time for it. We're gonna be live for like 2 hours today here on True School Sports. Listen, boxing is really slow, and I'm doing a lot right now. So I'm just gonna start titling every single live until the Crawford fight, "The Road to Canelo-Crawford." Every live will just be titled "The Road to Canelo-Crawford" because really, it's the fight that boxing is waiting for. Nothing in boxing is gonna move until these two guys fight, and whether I want to avoid it or not, you know, I can't avoid it. So we're just gonna title every single live "True School After Dark: The Road to Canelo versus Crawford." So that being said, we're here, guys. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's doing great wherever you're tuning in at. If you're just stopping through, if you're watching the live right now, or if you're watching that playback, make sure you smash that like button. You guys see it. Listen, live could be better, but not by much. You know, it's a great view. God is good. It's fun to be in camp. It's also a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of things you gotta always overcome. But it's good to be in camp. It's good to be around the fight game. It's good to have this opportunity, and we're taking advantage of it 150% here on True School Sports. So listen, I'm going to be here. You guys can guide the live however you want it. However, whatever y'all want to talk about, you can talk about. I mean, we had some news today. We had I saw Subriel Matias won the purse bid for the Dalton Smith fight, so it looks like Turki Al-Sheikh can't just bullying him into coming into Riyadh season. He can fight where he want to fight because his promoters won the fight. So shout out to Subriel Matias. You had Bruce Carrington, you know, kind of saying that Angelo Leo don't want to fight him because of a Ring Magazine article that used a quote from an interview I did, where Angelo said that pretty much that you know, he'll fight Bruce when he gets a belt because Bruce is not in the IBF ranking. So that happened today. A lot. You know, some things happening in our sport. Let me see. Who we got here? Who we got? We got my main man, David. He says, Dalton Smith and Matias is only 1.9 million. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so, champ. I guess that's exactly what it is. 1.9 million. That's not a lot of money between two guys with decent fan bases. Well, look, man. In boxing and in life, you don't get what you deserve. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. So if all parties involved felt like that was a fair number, and they're okay with letting their fighters fight for that amount of money, then that's on them. But you know, it's good to see that Matias is gonna stay active. Hold on, man. I gotta figure out how to turn this light on. But we here. Hold on. We got Lord Zed. He said, "Hey BT, I drafted my fantasy football team in my league with my pops. I'm excited for boxing, of course." Yes, shout out to you, man, and best wishes on the new fantasy football season. I know a lot of people take fantasy very, very serious, and you know, I used to play a lot of fantasy football like years ago. Now, I'll be honest, I don't really give a damn about football. If it's not boxing or hockey or baseball these days, BT don't give a shit. But hey, best of luck to you. Fantasy football is really fun. It's a great way to follow the NFL. So, congrats to you, champ. Oh no, man! And listen, people like to shit on boxing and say boxing is such a corrupt sport, and it is. But see, you want to know why I like boxing, guys? Because the corruption's in your face. They tell you, like, look, we're gonna rob this guy. Yeah, we have our favorite people that we want to win fights. Yeah, we're gonna try to fix this shit. We're gonna try to manipulate these outcomes to get what we want out of it. But see, at least with boxing, you know that. You know Canelo Alvarez is already up 3 points on the scorecards. You know, in the NFL, in soccer, in all these other sports that act like they're so fair, act like they're so just, they make it sound like, you know, everything is fair and it's all peaceful and it's all clean and kumbaya. and it's not. So I'd rather look. It's like, would you rather your girl tell you? Would you rather know that your girl's a whore up front, or would you rather your girl be the nice girl who acts nice, and then when push comes to shove, you find out she's a whore? You know, I'd rather know up front that a girl's a whore than her play the part of being a nice girl, but really she's like the biggest whore in the world. And that's boxing. Boxing is the whore that we know is a whore. And that's what it is. You know, we accept their flaws for how it is, and we treat her as such. You know, that's it. That's it, guys. Shout out to my man Rebel Rico. Salute to you, champ. Good to see you guys. The Yankees are throwing games on purpose. That's how I feel. I feel like these dudes right here, the Marlins, they could have been a playoff team this year. They got to 500, and see this live not even about boxing, but y'all are got in the live. They got to 500, and all of a sudden the manager is making moves on purpose to throw games. They should have at least been close to a playoff spot than they are right now, and I really leave the Marlins through the season, but that's neither here nor there. Listen, guys, boxing is great. God is good all the time, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited about camp. Like today I saw, I won't get into it, but you know, today I did see good old Virgil Hunter, and listen, Virgil Hunter, very interesting guy to talk to. You know, very interesting guy to talk to. That was be quiet, BT. Be quiet. Be quiet, BT. Let's just talk boxing. He says, hell yeah, the Marlins are fire. They are. And Tom Brady, they make the biggest star in boxing. At least we have crazy guys like Fury. The NFL would have banned guys like that or destroy their reputation. That's what I'm saying, guys. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about boxing. It's like all these other sports, they want the squeaky clean guys. They want the dudes that are politically correct. And it's like, but boxing, no. Boxing is like, no, we got thugs. We got people that really say what's on their mind. Like, at least with boxing, you get some authenticity. And across sports like the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, even to a degree, it's missing authenticity. So listen, I'd rather have boxing be how boxing has its faults, boxing has its flaws, but personality is not one of them. Let me see what else happened in boxing today. I mean, I did put out a couple Canelo versus Crawford videos. You know, one that was more about Crawford, the other one that was more about Canelo. So go check those out. Go check out that Trayshawn Wiggins interview too. You know, I got a nice interview with him that's out on the channel. I got an interview coming out tomorrow. It's like damn near an hour long. It's like 53 minutes long with Elijah Pierce. If that's interesting to any of you guys, look out for it tomorrow. My man El Pelon says Haney Munguia test is tested as a false positive. I saw something about Haney Munguia, but I didn't get a chance to really read it because I got back from camp, from training today with Yuga, and I didn't get a chance to read through it. So like, give me the gist of what happened. So like, you're saying that it's a fair, the test was false positive. So he wasn't on steroids, so he didn't test positive. Is that what you're telling me? That it was all a hoax? The Haney Munguia really didn't cheat? Because I'm gonna tell you this. It actually is better in his case if he did cheat and lost to Bruno Soares, because if he fought Bruno Soares on the even playing field and got knocked out, that might actually be worse, because Bruno Soares was a stay busy guy. He was supposed to be a stay busy opponent, and he got knocked the hell out. So look, either way, look, positive test or no positive test, you know, the fact that you lost to Bruno Soares once is bad enough, you know. And I know, listen, it's boxing, right? It's boxing. Anything can happen at any given time to any given fighter. I respect all the fighters, but like, you supposed to be up here. And Bruno Soares was not even, I can't even say he was down here. He was like beneath. He was like beneath. Like, nobody knew who Bruno Soares was. Talking about French boxing. Like, half the time, I forget they even have boxing in France. You know, I know they got soccer in France. I know they got Formula One in France. But you lost to a dude from France. Like, come on, bro. I respect fighters from all places, but like, he was a light punching middleweight that they dragged up in weight to super middleweight so that you could look good and finish the year off, you know? So I don't really know what to make of that. If it's a false positive, I mean, congrats, I guess. Like, you're 1-1 with Bruno Soares. Shit, y'all need to do a trilogy. We got to figure out who's really who. Because if that is a legitimate win, the rematch, then you need to do a trilogy fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'll leave it at that. Listen, man, come on, guys. Come on, what are y'all doing to me? I'm here. I'm out here. Yes, yes, the views are nice. Yes, I'm very blessed. But listen, I'm working very hard out here in California. It's very easy for me to not go live because I'm very tired. But guys, I'm here because I care about the boxing fans. I care about my viewers. I care about True School Sports. Smash that like button, man. There's 20 people here. You got 5 likes. Run it up, man. In fact, I'm not even gonna start talking until there's like 10 to 12 likes. So look, I'm gonna pace back and forth until we get like 12 to 15 likes. I'm not talking again. So we just gonna pace back and forth, starting right now. Meow, 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 meow. There we go. Finally, it took long enough. It took long enough, man. Listen, man, I came here. I just paced back and forth. Listen, all I was asking was for 12 likes. Okay, we got 12 likes. I don't even care that we lost some viewers. Who cares? Listen, we're here. The Untouchable True School Sports Empire. It's your boy BT. Um, here in Cali, working hard in training camp with one of the best young fighters in boxing, Yugo Osaki, and definitely honored. It's probably like I put it up there as one of my top honors in boxing, along with Angelo Leo, working with him and stuff in camp, and definitely all the work we do here on True School Sports. So, yeah, man. But listen, get your questions in, guys. We got my man Lord Zeddy says, come on, guys, show them what we're made of, the strongest team in boxing. Yes, hit the like button, guys. Shout out to Pops. Make sure you guys show you appreciate the Pops in the comments. My man Cardosa says, Canelo will be this generation's best fighter. Why? Because he beat Crawford? That doesn't make him like I hate to break it to you guys. Now, if Crawford wins, there's legitimate discussions that could be had that maybe Crawford is the generation's best fighter because he's moving up essentially 3 weight classes to fight Canelo. But I'm sorry, guys. You can't be the best fighter of the generation if you fought other guys and got outclassed. Like, I'm sorry. Him being a welterweight will not solidify him as the best fighter of his generation. Now, if he would have fought Dave Benavidez, and if he would have beat up Dave Benavidez, then okay, it's a different discussion. But he's not fighting Dave Benavidez. He's fighting the welterweight. So all this can do for Canelo, in my opinion, is just put the finishing touches on what's been a Hall of Fame career. Anybody, I've heard people say that if he beats Terrence Crawford or if he knocks him out, this makes him the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. And I told that person, you know what I told him? I said, look, Canelo could knock out, he could knock out Terrence Crawford in the first round. Straight up. He could knock him out in the first round. And he's not the best Mexican fighter of all time. Is he great? Sure. Is he going to the Hall of Fame? Of course. But let's not be prisoners of the moment here. Let's not start talking out the side of our mouth. Let's not talk out of our ass. Like, he's really, really good. Fantastic. Great counter puncher. High IQ, but let's not get ahead of ourselves calling him better than guys like Salvador Sanchez, because Salvador Sanchez, he is not. All right, he is still not. If he were to knock out, let's just say, right, if Canelo Alvarez were to knock out Terrence Crawford right now in this fight, this would be the first Hall of Fame fighter he's ever knocked out in his career. Salvador Sanchez died at, 22 years old, and he knocked out multiple Hall of Famers before he passed away at 22. So I'm not trying to hear none of this stuff about Canelo, but look, it'll be a cool fight. I'm sure it'll be fun talking about it, getting both fan bases riled up, because you guys got to understand, I don't really give a damn who wins, but a lot of people do. So it's going to be fun intentionally and unintentionally riling up fans of both fighters, which I'm already kind of doing because you got people on YouTube talking about me. That's cool. Are you going to get another world title with the new fighter you're working with, BT? Of course. Of course. This kid, I'm telling y'all, man, this kid is really good, man. He's just, I've been around some good fighters, but something special about Yuga, man. Yuga, I think, I was just telling him today, I was telling him and somebody else in the gym today, I said, you know what? I think Yuga puts it all together. We're not just talking about a one-off champion here. We're talking about a guy that could be a champion from 108 to as high as, I would say, 118 or 122. I think he's on that. He's cut from that cloth, So we have a lot of work to do. He has a lot of work to do. The coaches have a lot of work to do. The nutritionists have a lot of work to do. Everyone has a lot of work to do. But I think it's possible. My man says Crawford is putting on too much muscle. He's gonna gas out. That's very possible. I still can't believe it. I made a video about it earlier, but I still can't believe it. I can't believe that Bomac literally said with a straight face that they had all these that we wanted him to go to 168. We should have let him go to 168 a long time ago. Like he had Crawford planned to go to super middleweight at any point in his career. And I'm sorry, bro. The only reason that this fight is happening, or they even considered fighting as high as 168, is because Turkey Al Sheikh don't wave the Arab money in front of him. And listen, we all need money to live. Like, it's good to make money. It's a hard game. Like, Crawford's paid his dues. He's done great things for the sport. He deserves to get paid handsomely. I ain't knocking it, but let's not act like y'all were always looking at this move to a 168. This is strictly for the money. This is strictly business, and it is what it is. That's where I stand, and I'm standing on it. You know. Lord Zed says, I think Crawford won't gas because he still will only be 160 something pounds, and his frame supports it. We shall see, man. The ring is the ultimate chamber of truth. So, if what you're saying is true, it'll be proven as such September 13th. Let me see. Shout out to Matt Borgeson with the first and hopefully not the last super chat alive. The first super chat of September because I didn't go live yesterday. So the first one, he says, should Oscar Collazo be in the top 10 pound for pound right now? No, he should not. I like Oscar Collazo. I think he's an awesome fighter. I think he's very close to becoming a top 10 pound for pound fighter, but he hasn't fought the competition yet to be there. There's not enough depth on his resume. In order for him to be top 10 pound for pound, he has to beat one of them Filipinos. He got to beat like a Melvin Jerusalem again for the title, or Pedro Tajuan. You know, beat one of those guys, and then I think it's more of a conversation. Right now, he's just a very good fighter who is teetering. He's knocking on the door, but he ain't in the house yet. You know, so he's got more work to do. But I like Oscar Collazo. Truth be told, I'm gonna tell you this, man. It's probably not gonna happen, but I would like to see Oscar, you know, do his thing at 105, come up to 108. My boy Yugo Osaki get a title at 108. I'll love, you know, in like a year and a half time possible to I would love to fight Oscar Collazo. Shit, we'll beat Oscar Collazo. But anyway, that's my opinion. Beating CP Freshmart was a great win though. Yeah, I mean it was cool. It was cool. I'm not saying he doesn't have good wins. He has some good wins. I just think right now his resume is lacking a lot of depth, you know. And the guys that he would need to beat to truly solidify himself as the guy, he hasn't beaten him yet. So I can't do it. I like him. He's one of the fighters that's doing great things for Puerto Rican boxing. So it'll be very easy to be biased for Oscar Collazo, but I can't be biased. Look, you guys can tell I'm not biased because y'all know Canelo ain't my favorite fighter, and I spoke good about Canelo. Like I like Crawford more than I like Canelo, but like it's not that deep, guys. Unless it's like a fighter like that I work with or like that I know personally, then it's a little different. But I mean, this ain't one of them times. Do I got a fighter? Well, I wouldn't say he's my fighter. You know, he's got a trainer and he's got people that make decisions in his career. But I'm like you could say I'm like a liaison / consultant / advisor to a fighter. And he was just walking in the background, boy Yuga. Great fighter, man. I'm gonna say his name a lot. I'm gonna say his name a lot because I feel like the lower weight categories don't get enough attention, and I'm making it my personal business. Y'all don't gotta know about all the Japanese fighters, but y'all gotta know about Yugo Osaki because he's one of them guys that, you know, in the next year, 2, 3, 4, however many years, he's gonna be making some noise. You're gonna see him be champion in different weight classes, and it's gonna be something to watch. And the best part about it is you guys can follow that journey right here on True School Sports. You know. Do I think that Oscar Collazo is the best Puerto Rican boxer right now? Ooh, that's a good question. Skill-wise, I would say yes, but shit, right now, is he the best overall? Accomplishment-wise, it's debatable. I like Matias. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a little biased for Matias. I'm a Matias fanboy, damn near. I think he's a great, awesome fighter, but it's a debate. I would say, yeah, he's the best. From a technical standpoint, he's the best. Yuga Osaki, that's the name. Yuga, first name, last name Ozaki. Yuga Osaki, 8-0-1, 6 knockouts, WBC light flyweight youth champion, and WBO Asia Pacific light flyweight champion, and the soon-to-be. Pick a belt. Pick whichever one you want. WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF. Pick which one you want. And fill in the blank. Champion, world champion, you know. WBC world champion, soon-to-be. How likely do you think we can see a draw? It's plus 2,000 in the Canelo fight. Well, I do think the fight is going to go the distance. So if the fight has a chance to go, if the fight does go the distance, there is a chance that it could be a draw. So personally, I wouldn't. Why not take it? It's plus 2,000. Shit, take it. Because I don't think this fight's going. I think this fight's going the whole distance. Um, yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I got Yuga. Takami, you like Takami, bro. Takami, Takami's gonna get the fucking brakes beaten off of him when he fights Yuga. And I'm not trying to talk trash because he don't talk trash, but like Takami ain't fought no one. Who is he? Who is he fought? Like he's just a big, strong guy. He's big and he's strong for the weight class. I don't see next level skills. You know what Takami is? I'm gonna tell you what Takami is. Takami is a typical Tekken boxing gym fighter. All them do like I know Mr. Honda promotes a lot of these Japanese fighters, but I'm not talking about all. I'm talking about the guys that come from Tekken gym. All them fighters that come from Tekken gym, name them. They all fight the same. All of them. Straight line, 1-2s, head on the center line. No, come on, bro. Takami should just go and just defend his belt and just go up. He gonna get turned over when they fight. Who has Yuga fought? Yuga hasn't fought anybody yet. He hasn't fought anybody yet. He's on his way. And I'm telling you, when he gets there, Takami's ass is grass. Takami is more dominant. Come on, okay. You know what? If you think Takami will win, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here. Because nothing I'm telling you is going to make you change your mind. Because I remember I came on this. I used to come on here when people used to talk about Venado. People would say Venado Lopez is gonna make Angelo Leo get knocked out, and he'll be pissing blood everywhere, and all this stuff. Your friend's gonna get hurt, and then what happened? I told you guys what will happen, and it happened. So look, I told you one time. I'm not repeating myself. When the time comes, it will come, and you will see. But like I like Takami. He's a good fighter. I've covered him on this channel. But like he beat Eric Pac-Man Rosa, man. You could be Eric. You could be Eric Pac-Man Rosa 2 fights ago, 3 fights ago. Come on, man. Shout out to Matt Borgeson. Osaki versus Giacomo's a good fight for right now, right? Oh, that's the let me see, what's his name again? Giacomo's. That's the Filipino, right? I was actually just watching him today. I love that fight. That's a good fight right now. I'm mad at that fight. That's the Filipino, right? He's like, I forgot his record. I had it written down somewhere because, we got a plan. We got a plan. I got a plan in place. All right, we got to follow the plan. Hopefully, we can get the people who make the decisions on board with the plan. But yeah, that fight's okay. I ain't mad at it. What are my thoughts on the Matthias Dalton Smith purse bids? I mean, I haven't had too much time to process it, but I mean, it's cool. I'm happy Matthias' people won the bid. Hopefully he can fight where he wants to fight and not where Turkey's telling him to fight, because Turkey's over here trying to be dictator. He's telling him, no. You do Riyadh. And what if Matthias don't want to go to Riyadh? What if he want to fight in Puerto Rico? What if he want to fight in New York? Why he got to do it in Riyadh? So they won the bid. The man with the money makes the rules. So in this case, I know Turkey's normally the guy with the money, but he didn't win the purse bid. So the people with the money are Matthias' people, so they can do whatever they want. If they want to go to Riyadh, cool. If they want to go to Puerto Rico, cool. But the ball's on their court. Undefeated, he beat. Yeah, I seen him fight. He's like, what is he? I believe his record, because I literally had his name written down on a notebook today. I think his record was like 7-0 with maybe 1 knockout. I think that was his record. He's 22. Yuga is 22. Do you think MJ beating Inoue this time? I'm scared for Inoue. I'm picking Inoue, but I'll be honest with you guys. I'm a little worried. The reason I'm worried, the reason I have concern for the monster is because, and I know this for Japanese fighters, because I mean, if anybody in this country of America knows Japanese fighters, it's your boy BT. Japanese fighters have this built-in Bushido code where they like to be tough and go to war, and sometimes I almost feel like it's frowned upon to box, to just like win fights by boxing. And if Inoue does not box this fight, if you don't mix things up, if you don't box, then exchange, then box, if you don't pick his spots, if you go on there being the same Inoue he's been, I can guarantee you he's getting clipped. And this is not someone, this ain't Neri. People have been trying to argue with me that Luis Neri is a harder puncher than Mirza Akhmadaliev? And to that, I say hell no. Neri was a harder puncher at 118, lower weight classes. But if we're talking about the weight category of super bantamweight, 122 pounds, the harder puncher is without a shadow of a doubt Mirza Akhmadaliev. And Inoue cannot afford to get clipped and hurt and dropped by a Mirza Akhmadaliev, because if that happens with him, he may not see the final bell. This might be it for him. So I think I like this fight because this fight, for years, I've heard a lot of boxing experts say that Naoya Inoue doesn't have higher boxing IQ, that he's just this destructive force, and they don't really give him credit for his boxing IQ. And I always said, no, that's not true. The fact that he's getting these knockouts and the way he's setting up his punches shows that he's definitely someone that does have boxing IQ. So I believe in him, and I believe in his boxing IQ, and I'm going to hold true to what I said. But this is the fight, more than any fight in his career. Because, like, look, the Fulton win was great, and it was a fight that a lot of people in America picked against him. So we're not going to try to rewrite history here. But everyone knew Fulton wasn't really punching like that. Everyone knows Merjan is punching like that. So Inoue has to be more cognizant of that and show. But you know, it's great because I feel like this gives Inoue the opportunity and the chance to showcase not just his power, not just his athletic ability, but the overall fight game, his overall skill set, which is important. You know, if you're considered to be a pound for pound fighter, upper echelon fighter, creme de la creme, top shelf elite fighter, you have to be a guy that really and truthfully can showcase yourself against any and all styles and have success. And this fight for him is his opportunity to do that. So I'm very excited to see how he approaches the fight. We got a couple of super chats. Shout out to everybody here. My man Matt Borgeson with the always showing love. He says, I'm not gonna lie, I think Dalton Smith is a typical UK boxer. I wouldn't agree with that. I think he sits down on his punches a little more than most UK fighters, but I can see what you're saying because his posture, his punch selection, those things are very prototypical UK. But I think he sits down on his punches a little more. So that's why I would say that he's a bit different than most UK fighters. Matt also says with the $2 super chat, he says, I always thought that Nakatani would destroy MJ. Well, look, I don't think they're ever gonna fight. If they did, that'd be a really intriguing fight, like style-wise, because you're talking about not just two southpaws, but two power-punching southpaws, two guys with bricks in their hands. I think Nakatani's best path to victory in that fight is volume. He could actually beat him by out-punching him, and then maybe, just maybe, he'd get a late stoppage, but I think he'd win that by power by decision. You know? You gotta look at it like from MJ's standpoint, right? Like Mirza Akhmadaliev for years has been waiting for a big fight. I've given him plenty of criticisms about how he avoided the Stephen Fulton fight. I don't need to rehash that. But now is his chance. Like he's getting this chance to really and truthfully like put himself up there with one of the top upper echelon fighters in boxing. And look, I want to see what you guys I want to see what you guys think about this because this is my opinion, right? So when you talk about not the best fighter in the world, but who is the closest thing to being an unbeatable fighter in boxing right now, right? With Canelo and Crawford, right? Canelo has already lost and lost by a lot, multiple times. Terrence Crawford is going up to 168, a weight class he's never fought, and a lot of people don't think he's going to win that fight, right? So let's just take them out the equation. Apart from Alexander Usyk, is there a guy in boxing right now that looks harder to defeat than Naoya Inoue? I mean, the guy barely loses rounds in his fights, and he normally gets knockouts, and he's normally getting knockouts defending his world title. So it's like he's one of boxing's most dominant fighters. He's been at the world championship level for so long, dominated for so long, against so many different fighters. I really think that, a win against Inoue, for not just MJ, but anybody in boxing, it puts you in a whole nother level. Why do you think, guys, I'm so bullish and I really want the opportunity for Angelo Leo to fight Inoue because I know I understand Inoue's greatness and I know what a win would do for whoever it is that beats him. So if it's MJ, he's going to another level. If it's Junto, he's going to another level. If it's somebody like Angelo or somebody else at featherweight, they're going to another level. So, that's what it is. Anyway, We got a lot of comments, man. Appreciate you guys for showing up, man. Listen, there's 36 of y'all here. I only got 16 likes. Come on, guys. I thought y'all love BT. I thought y'all loved True School. I thought y'all really messed with the untouchable True School Sports Empire. Run it up, guys, so that this live can get pushed out to as many people as humanly possible. There's boxing fans just like you guys that maybe haven't seen my channel, that need to see my channel, but they're not gonna see the channel because y'all not smashing the like button. So do that. It takes 2 seconds, and it really helps not just me, but it helps people that aren't already following the channel find this channel. Because in a cesspool of bad YouTube channels that thrive on hate, channels that thrive on division, channels that don't really know shit about boxing at all, sometimes it's hard for people to find the truth. So do that for me, and I really appreciate it. Let me see who we got here. We got my man Matt. And if I'm missing your comment, I'm sorry, guys. My boy Matt's just sending them super chats, so those come first. He says, didn't MJ fight Marlon fasting for Ramadan? I'm not entirely sure, but that's very possible. I do remember hearing something about that. Hockey says, I agree with you, BT. I heard this fight. People are saying Inoue mentioned would not mind winning by points. Like, look, man, you're not going to knock everybody out. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're not going to knock everybody out. That's one thing that I always have re-emphasized to me. Like, give you an example. When Angelo Leo fought Kameda, I would watch a bunch of tape. I watched a bunch of film of Kameda, and I was like, yo, we're going to knock this dude the hell out. And Angelo can punch, by the way. He's knocked out some pretty good fighters. He knocked out Fernando. He's knocked out. He's a boxer puncher at featherweight. So I was like, yo, we're going to knock him out. And then we fought Kameda, and Kameda he knew all the veteran tricks of how to survive and how to do certain things. And he took him the distance. And it was a difficult fight. And it got to a point in the fight where Angelo had to make an adjustment and say, you know what? I can outbox this guy. Let me take that route and outbox him. And I think in a similar sense, that's what's gonna happen with Inoue. Like, yes, you can punch. Yes, you're a special fighter. But certain fighters are going to make you have to win in a different way. And when you can show that you can win in a different way, that's when you can show that's when you really show you're great. That's when you really show that you're one of them top upper echelon, creme de la creme, pound for pound guys. So, yeah. BT, I'm half an hour late, but we here. Matias going back to Puerto Rico. I said at BT, us Ricans, we have a champ in a hot weight class most of the time, the A side. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, look, y'all know I don't play them. I really don't really care about like where somebody is from, but I gotta say, it feels good to have a Puerto Rican fighter that is he probably Puerto Rican. Say shit. So shout out to Super Matias, man. I'm glad they won the purse bid. I'm glad he's getting the fight where he wants to fight. Who does Turkey think he is dictating to one of the realest fighters in boxing who he can and can't fight? Listen, man, or where he can and can't fight. Not everything needs to go to Saudi Arabia. The island needs fights too. Let me see. Shout out to everybody here. We got a lot of comments, man. A lot of comments. I know I missed a couple. My boy Slide Encounter, I saw him drop a couple comments. I want to get to his comments. He says, Crawford has a lot of hybrid punches and unorthodox angles of his punches, but I think Canelo's head mobility and slip and counter will be the difference in the fight. Yeah, that's a good. That's actually a great point. When you break down Crawford and Canelo from a stylistic standpoint, it's an interesting fight because when you talk about Crawford's hybrid punches, one fight that comes to mind is the fight with Kell Brook, because he threw kind of like it was a 2-1, but it wasn't like a straight. I think he was in the southpaw. I can't remember which stance he was in, but he threw a jab first, and he didn't really throw a jab. Like he threw the straight punch first, and then the punch that was supposed to be a jab, he kind of 45-degreed it, and it was like a hybrid punch. So it was at a weird angle, and it caught Kell Brook by surprise, and that was the punch that actually like hurt him. That was a punch that really kind of got his attention. So yeah, I would agree, and I think with Canelo's head movement and his ability to be very slick, that's gonna be the fight within the fight. I feel like, can Crawford land his hybrid punches on the slick, in the pocket defense of Canelo Alvarez? That's a really great point. I like that. True School Sports, here's my question. Is Canelo tailor-made for Bud stylistically? Is he? Is he? No, I don't think he is. The reason I don't think he is because now if Terrence Crawford was a fighter that was a more mentally disciplined boxer, mentally disciplined in the sense of he's okay with outpointing you. It's been a long time since Crawford really showed that mental discipline to go the full 12 rounds. The last time I saw Crawford really for 12 rounds outbox someone was Ray Beltran, and that's like that's like 50 weight classes ago. I think Terrence Crawford by nature is an apex predator. He's going to be looking at some point in the fight walk down Canelo. So no, I don't. For that reason, I don't think he's tailor-made for Canelo. And I think the fight will wind up being a fight of two counterpunchers. And you may see a lot of waiting. That's what I'm saying. I feel like the fight could be very boring. I feel like the fight could be very boring because I think if Terrence Crawford gets to a place in the fight where he realizes he can't be the apex predator, then I truly believe that he will try to outbox Canelo, and it'll become a fight of counter punchers trying to wait out the other guy. And those are some of the most boring fights in boxing. I don't care what nobody tells you. I saw Shakur Stevenson going at Dan Canobio on Twitter talking about, you don't understand the sweet science. You don't understand the chess match. I'm telling you guys like this. The boringest fights in the history of boxing are when two counter punchers wait each other out. Look at Robert Easter Bartholomew, Chris Bird, Derval Williamson. Those were both fights with very low outputs and a lot of listless action where two fighters are trying to employ a counterpunching style and they're waiting each other out and nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm coming from. People really think that like I don't study boxing and that like I just hate Canelo or I hate Crawford, and that's not the case. Guys, I'm literally in camp. All I do every day is watch boxing. I'm around boxing. Today I was at the gym. Today I saw, if you saw the earlier part of the live, I'm not going to say his name again, but I talked to a particularly high, big name coach earlier today about some stuff regarding boxing. And I don't know quantum physics. I don't really know shit about the stock market. I'm not the most well-versed in geopolitical politics, but one thing I know a little bit about, just a little bit, just a tad bit, is this boxing. That's what I can say. So, let me see. How do you see, and shout out to the following star, one of my loyal viewers from Japan, got a lot of love for the Japanese viewer. He says, how do you see the international broadcasting rights playing out with Inoue now with ESPN on the out? That's a great question, man. I want to watch this fight. I'm very interested in that fight. What I think will happen is what normally happens in situations like this. I think we won't hear anything about a U.S. provider or a U.S. TV guide or channel carrying this fight until like the week of the fight, or maybe like 8 or 9 days before the fight. So that's my optimistic outlook on it. I hope that's the case because I'd be very pissed off if Inoue and MJ fight and I can't watch it. Because really, if we're talking about boxing in the next 2 to 3 weeks, the two fights, I mean, I know we got some good little fights like Iglesias versus Shishkin, but really the two notable fights that most people are talking about, that you guys are concerned about, that I'm concerned about, are Crawford Canelo and Inoue Akhmadaliev. So if I can't watch Inoue Akhmadaliev, I'm going to be very pissed off. Shout out to my man, YouTube. YouTube My Tude. It's an interesting name. Salute to you, champ. Good to see you. BT, you know your ish brother. Your breakdowns be a razor sharp. I try, man. By the way, guys. I want to inform you in advance because if it don't happen, it's not my fault. I reached out to him today about it. I messaged Sean Zattel today because I told Sean, I said, Sean, we got people that want to see us collab, and we not collabing. Like, we have to do something very, very soon. So I told Sean a day and a time that I want to collab with him. We agreed on a day and time. So in the next, I'm going to say sometime within the next 10 days, guys, expect me and Sean Zattel to have collaboration videos out on Inoue Akhmadaliev and Canelo Crawford together. So, because he gave me his word today. So if it don't happen, it's not my fault. I got his word today. What boots What did Boots say about sparring? What do I don't know what you're asking. Are you asking what I think about the Boots sparring? Who do I got? Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney. Listen. That's the main fight that everyone asked me about. That's the main. I really feel like that's the best fight on the calendar for the rest of the year. Like this Canelo-Crawford shit is cool. Inoue Akhmadaliev is a good fight, but really the fight that I think got people talking is ticking off all the boxes as far as rivalry, build up, personalities, legacy. Is Norman Haney. Now, I know a lot of people are picking Devin Haney, and I can see why. Devin Haney's a sharp boxer. He's got good feet. But nah, absolutely not. Devin Haney's a very good boxer, and he's going to be very well prepared for this fight. But I don't think he's a good enough boxer to offset the athleticism of Brian Norman Jr., the power of Brian Norman Jr., and most importantly, because I don't want to just make it about power or athleticism. Brian Norman can box. Everyone's talking about Brian Norman's power. Everyone's talking about Brian Norman and his athletic ability. But they're not giving him no credit for the boxing ability he has of himself. You're talking about a guy who literally knocked somebody out with the jab. He threw a 2-1. He threw a straight right hand and then he threw a jab against Derek Cuevas and stopped him like that. Okay, he's someone. If you watch his punch selection, he's someone that doesn't even gotta really he don't even gotta load up on the punch. He just gotta place the shot. He naturally has bricks. He naturally has heavy hands, and he gonna hurt you. And I'm gonna tell you guys this. I've seen a lot of these fighters in the gym hit the bag, and I stood like 20 feet from the punching bag, about 10 feet from the punching bag when Brian Norman was hitting the heavy bag at Ohashi Gym in Japan when he was training for the JustAKid fight. I'm telling you guys, that boy is really punching like that. Like his punching power is real. He's country strong, and it's not that he's just a power puncher. It's what he brings with the punching power. It's the mentality behind the punches. It's the fact that he can box. He knows how to set things up, and him and his dad have done a great job of correcting his flaws very quickly. If you go and you watch Brian Norman Jr.'s career fight by fight and just look at the progression, if you know what you're watching, they made a lot of adjustments. They cleaned a lot of things up, and I think Devin Haney's catching Brian Norman Jr. at the worst possible time. He's firing on all cylinders. He's trending towards his athletic prime. Nah, man. Too bad we never seen him punch a moving fighter. He's too slow for Haney. Oh, okay. We shall see. The truth will tell all. Nah, it ain't going past the 7th round. I'll tell you that right now. It ain't going past the 7th round, and it wouldn't even shock me if Devin Haney gets stopped faster than Jin Sasaki. Yo, BT, when Canelo beats Crawford, where does that put him on the pound-pound since everyone has Crawford as the best boxer in the world? All the mainstream media has Crawford winning. Now, look, for me, this fight, in terms of who is the best fighter in the world, it doesn't have any bearing on it because for me, the best fighter in the world is Alexander Usyk. I mean, the guy literally went undisputed at cruiserweight when it was a very deep division, beat every champion, beat every contender, cleaned that out. Then he went up to heavyweight. He's fighting dudes. He's giving up 20, 30, 40 pounds. Fighting these guys like Fury and Joshua, beating them twice. And he's knocking them out. That's pound for pound stuff. When you fight guys 30, 40 pounds bigger than you and you knocking them out, that's pound for pound stuff. When you go undisputed in 2 weight classes and you clean the divisions out so good that there's not even one contender left to fight, that's pound for pound stuff. So for me, it don't really matter who wins this fight. Number one is Usyk. But as far as, to answer your question, as far as where Canelo would rank, right now I would say heading into the fight, Canelo's probably like on the lower parts of the top 10, probably somewhere in the 7 to 8 range. You know, obviously years ago he would have been higher, but when you factor in his lack of upper echelon opponents recently, as well as his lack of like great, performances, he's got to be, he's really only on the list still because of things he did years ago. Let's be real. He's on the pound for pound list because of things he did, 5-6 years ago. If it was based off recent performance, he wouldn't be on the pound for pound list. So if he beats Crawford, I'm saying he gets back in the top 5. Maybe put him at like 4. Put him at 4. Because I'll tell you this, I can't put him above Usyk. I can't do that. If Inoue beats MJ in a good fight and knocks him out or just keeps winning, I still put Inoue over Canelo right now. Maybe the highest, if you really, really, really want to like stretch it out, you could say 3. Maybe you could do 3 because you got to give Crawford that respect. He beat a guy like Crawford, right? So Crawford was this great fighter who moved up, stepped to the plate. Maybe you could say 3, but for me personally, I wouldn't put him no more higher than 4 or 5. All facts true. Facts. I want to say wipe out by knowing, but I've seen enough boxing to know that when the other guy has no shot, it usually turns out to be a very good fight. That's what, look, I think Devin is gonna bank some early rounds. I don't think Devin is gonna like. I think Devin will bank. I think listen, there's a very high possibility you could see Devin Haney up like 3-0 on Brian Norman Jr. and Brian Norman Jr. might just knock out Devin Haney in 4 rounds. I could see it, or 5 rounds. I could see a scenario where Devin Haney literally wins 2 or 3 rounds in a row and gets stopped, just like that. But truthfully, I would say I don't think it's going to pass the 7th round because inevitably, I think around like round 4, Devin is going to have to fight. He's not going to be able to circle the ring. And I think when that time comes, he ain't going to have no answers. Now, what will really impress you about Devin Haney and what will truly be like pound for pound, what will be special, is if he gets in the pocket with Norman and he does have the answers. Just imagine for a second. Imagine Norman closed the gap on Haney. Imagine Haney actually has to deal with Norman's power and he has the answers. And imagine if he flips the script and he's the one pushing Norman back. Now, see, that would be impressive. Fighters don't know how to cut off the ring in this generation. Very rare. Inoue, Benavidez, Beterbiev, Tank. Those are exceptions. Yeah, it's only a handful of guys that are really doing it like that. I agree. 4. So Bud stays top 3. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard to interpret. Like for me, Terrence Crawford, I'm gonna have to drop him below Canelo, but I'm gonna have to drop him because he asked for this fight. He asked for this fight, so I'm gonna have to drop him. Even though I think this fight's unnecessary. I think what's gonna hurt Haney is his punch pattern and selection, and Norman sets traps to land a punch that changes everything and gets Haney out there. Yup, that and Haney. So Haney, when if you go and you watch Devin Haney's fights, his recent fights, his best fights, his worst fights, pretty much all his fights. What makes Devin Haney, the reason why Devin Haney was so successful as a lightweight is because Devin Haney, not only was he bigger and longer, but Devin Haney, his feet were also faster. So if somebody wanted to load up on a big shot, he'd be out of range. And he could just use his quickness to exploit these guys. With Norman, he can't really do that because Norman is more athletic than him. Norman's arms aren't short and stubby like a Jojo Diaz, right? And Devin's not really a guy, he doesn't really feint or probe with his attacks. When Devin moves, he generally commits. So if you see Devin move, generally he's going to commit to a shot. If he's not circling the ring, looking to reset, if you see him make any set of movements, he's committing to some offense. You understand? So that's going to get him hurt. That's what I think. Do people think a roided Ryan Garcia is stronger than a clean Brian Norman Jr.? I don't. Honestly, you know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you like this, man. It sounds crazy because steroids are steroids and they're supposed to make you stronger. Yo, Brian Norman is really fucking strong. I don't know if he's stronger, but he's pretty damn strong. Yo, True School, can you send me $20 when Inoue starts Akhmadaliev? No. I'm not sending you $20, champ, for that. But shout out to everybody. Man, that's crazy. We're already an hour in, guys. Shout out to damn near an hour in. Shout out to everyone here. Make sure you run it up. Smash that like button so this live gets pushed out to as many of the fine folks on YouTube. People need to hear this boxing talk. They need to hear these boxing breakdowns. They need to hear this insight. They need to be exposed to something new because we got a lot of channels on YouTube that just talk and talk and talk and talk. Give me $20. Remember that song? I don't know that song, champ. I don't know that song, champ. I don't know that song. I'll tell you this, guys. I've been watching a lot of old fights though recently. I've been watching you know what? I've been watching a lot. Believe it or not, I've been watching a lot of Andre Ward. I've been watching a lot of Andre Ward recently. Been watching him. I've been watching Pernell Whitaker. Who else did I watch the other day? I watched Junta Nakatani versus Angel Acosta for some reason yesterday. I watched him. I watched Angelo Leo versus Fernando Lopez for the 7,000th time. Today I watched Daya Kira versus Jackson Zapata when I was at the gym. You know, so we just be watching boxing all the time. Is MJ a live dog versus Inoue? Yes, 1,000% he's a live dog against Inoue. I'm gonna say, you know, I believe it. You know, I'm an Inoue believer at 122. Now, if you go to featherweight, it's a different story. But 122, I'm a believer. I think this fight could potentially be a fight where Inoue has to pick himself up off the canvas and really go to some places he's never gone to in his career. I think both fighters might trade knockdowns, and I think Inoue might stop him late, like maybe like 9 or 10. But I think there will be a point in the fight where Inoue has to box. He has to show a more complete skill set. Which again, if you're a guy that we're calling top 3 pound for pound, then you're expected to do that. It is the expectation of a top 3 pound for pound guy that you can outbox a guy and defuse someone like Merz Akhmadaliev. I like watching Pernell Whitaker versus Diabetes Hurtado. It was interesting seeing Whitaker. Yeah, that was a good fight, man. He was down on the cards. That was, I'm gonna say that was the one where he knocked him. He came back and he knocked him out, right? Or was that what was that guy? There was another guy, Cardona or something like that. I forgot his name. What do I think of Shakur versus Tio? I don't, because until that fight actually gets signed and I see the fight poster, I don't believe nothing with them guys. I don't. But if it does happen, good. I mean, that would be Shakur Stevenson trying to become a world champion at 140. So we're talking about 126, 130, 135. We're talking about Shakur Stevenson potentially being a 4-division champion. I like that. That's pound for pound stuff right there. That's the kind of stuff where now, okay, people would like to hype up Shakur Stevenson, even I have at times. But that's the kind of stuff that's praiseworthy. That's the kind of stuff that's worth talking about. And that, you know, style-wise, that's an intriguing fight because, you know, Shakur Stevenson, when you break down him as a fighter defensively, you know, he's got good reflexes, but he uses his feet a lot. Your feet are your first line of defense. Shakur just takes that little half step back, right? But see, one thing about Tio is Tio's got a very quick first step, and Tio's very athletic, and Tio shifts a lot. So Tio could actually make that work against Shakur. So that fight might not be as straightforward as people think. A lot of people might just say, oh, well, Shakur would outbox Tio. I don't know, man. I think Tio's athleticism could give Shakur some problems in that fight. But it's a good fight. If it gets made, it's a good fight. Inoue is a heavy favorite in Vegas. Listen, Inoue is going to be a heavy favorite no matter who he fights because, like I said, he's got this aura of invincibility, like kind of like a Mike Tyson had, where no one ever thinks he's going to lose. BT imagining a false hope is good, but let's be honest, when has Haney proven to us that he could consistently quiet on the inside because it's counterintuitive to his style? I'm not saying that that's what I think is going to happen. And I'm not giving false hope. I was saying that thing about Haney on the inside. I was saying that because that would be impressive. That would be like, yo, pound for pound type stuff. If you fight a younger, bigger, stronger puncher in his prime, and he makes you have to fight, and you have the answer for it. That's like special stuff. Why can't Andy Cruz get a big fight? Andy Cruz can't get a big fight because Andy Cruz doesn't bring a lot of money to the table in comparison to guys in and around him. And Andy Cruz is really good, and he's probably going to beat the brakes off of a lot of fighters. I would assume and presume that you're probably wondering why Ram Murataya didn't fight him. And Ram Murataya didn't fight him because Ram Murataya knows, and his team and his handlers know they can't beat Andy Cruz right now. And from a management standpoint, they doing the right thing because right now it's a bad fight for him. Is Tio Shakur a matchroom fight or with TKO? Turkey said he wasn't working with Tio. Again, that's why I'm saying I'm not taking that fight serious. You know, Shakur Stevenson's pretty funny. Like, I feel like Shakur Stevenson gets off on people saying that he gets off on fighters, quote unquote, avoiding him. But sometimes, like in this case, Tio's not avoiding Shakur. Tio is not going to work with Turkey because Turkey already said that Tio can't work with him because he pissed Turkey off and he said certain things about his country he didn't like, I guess. So no matter, even if Tio and Shakur both agree to fight, Turkey is not working with Tio. But Shakur is on Twitter acting like Teofimo Lopez is ducking him. Now, Teofimo Lopez has done some ducking, and I've called him out before. He's ducked Super Matias. He's ducked Brian Oman Jr. He's ducked fighters. He has. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, but one of the fighters he is ducking is Shakur. That's what I can tell you. What do I think of Pitbull and Lamont Roach? Now, see, that's a good fight. That's a big time fight right there. I like that fight. I think stylistically it's an exciting fight. You know, Roach is a fighter that by nature and by being a product of the DMV boxing area, he loves to fight in the pocket. And Andy, what's his name? Isaac Cruz. He has that tight high guard defense. He's a shorter fighter. I think that fight's gonna be if it happens, I think that fight winds up being very, very entertaining. And I think the boxing fans would be very satisfied with the entertainment and the exchange they would get. I like that fight. As far as who would win, it's tough. I'm gonna say I think Lamont Roach could beat Isaac Cruz. Honestly, to me it's a close fight. I think it's a close fight because, you know, to beat a guy like Isaac Cruz, you got to counterpunch. You got to circle the ring a little bit. He's not gonna do none of that. He's gonna be right there in the pocket. So that makes the fight interesting. The Tank Bowl, they call it Pitbull. Yeah, the Tank Bowl. Why not? The Tank Derby from our British viewers. The Derby, the Tank Derby. But shout out to everyone here. We here in camp, finishing off another interesting day of training and track. I mean, I ran a couple laps. I'm not the one training, but you know, I got my laps in today. I ran around the track about 7 or 8 laps today, so I was pretty happy about that. But you know, it's really just this whole time in my life is very intriguing. And I'm very happy to be here and sharing this time with you guys. And yeah, good to be here. BT, have you seen Jadi Herrera fight before 135? Who would you like to see him fight next? I have seen Jadi Herrera fight. Good fighter. You know, think he's still very raw. Aggressive southpaw, Cuban. There seems to be a nice steady diet of those these days in boxing. If I could play a matchmaker, I would like to see Jadi Herrera fight either Shu Utsugi or what's his name? Lucas Body. Lucas Body, Shu Utsugi. Those are kind of fights that I would like to see for him. I think those guys are kind of on the same trajectory as him right now. They have a lot to prove as well. And I think those would be good action fights. So I would say fights like that. Pedro, what's good, champ? Good to see you. Hand History Vault in the building. What's up, champ? Appreciate you too being here, my God. Thank you. It's good to be here. Slide encounter. Yeah, I agree, BT. About what? Cruz and Roach? What do you think about Thurman versus Fundora fight? Does Keith IQ and athleticism give him a chance in your eyes? It's hard to quantify what Keith is. We know he's still got the boxing brain. He's still sharp. But you're not fighting like that. And activity is everything in the sport. I think Keith would probably, like, with that fight, I think after like 5 rounds, Keith will be winning. I think Keith will be winning like 3-2, 4-1, something like that. And I think in the middle rounds, Fundora is going to make Keith Thurman look like he's 36 years old and get him up and out of there, you know? I think, yeah, I'm going to say it. I think Sebastian Fundora will become the first man to stop Keith Thurman when they fight. And that's my unbiased prediction because really, truthfully, guys, I'm a Keith Thurman fanboy. I love Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman, you know, it's unfortunate that his career, he didn't have more fights, but Keith Thurman, to me, is like one of the greatest things to ever happen to boxing. I love the guy's personality. When he was the #1 guy in the welterweight division, he fought the best guys. You know, he only ever lost to one guy, and that was Manny Pacquiao. And there's no shame in that. And really and truthfully, a lot of people thought he won that fight because he finished that fight very strong. So you could actually look at Keith Thurman as an undefeated fighter. So I would love to see Keith Thurman pull one last rabbit out the hat and fight Fundora, because if he were to beat a guy like Fundora, if you were to beat a guy like Fundora, then Errol Spence would have to come out of retirement to fight him. And I still want to see Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence. And I want to see Keith Thurman in a lot of fights. But again, he don't got much time. He don't got much time left left in the sport, and he's got to go ahead and make it count. Shout out to my main man, Reverse Lee, out there in Japan, training in the mean streets of Hachiochi, Tokyo at the Hachiochi Nakaya Boxing Gym. Shout out to you, Reverse, hope all as well. He says, yo, this Japan trip is the most relaxed and happy I've been in years. Now, Reverse Lee, now you understand why I go to Japan so much. Now you understand why I've been there a combined 6 months in the last 2 calendar years. It's a great country with a lot of culture and great food and great people and great boxing culture. So congrats on the training and training out there with Jin Sasaki and the team out there and take it all in, man. Learn as much as you can, meet as many people as possible, shake as many hands, kiss as many babies, and try to get as many connections as possible so you have more reason to come back to Japan. So, yeah. I'll tell you guys like this right now. As far as me, I'm already planning my itinerary for my next Japan trip. I'm thinking like March or April. I gotta stash some money here, stash some money there, but I definitely want to go. I want to be back in Japan by at least late March, early April. I want to be there for the whole buildup of Inoue Nakatani. I'm already thinking about that fight. God willing, they both win the next fights, because that's another reason. Like, Inoue got to win this fight because I want to go to Japan for Inoue Nakatani at the Tokyo Dome, and I'm gonna keep speaking it. I'm gonna keep speaking it into existence. We got work to do, but Yugo Ozaki will win the world title on that undercard. You understand? So, let me see. Keith Thurman versus Spence is the fight I want to see too. But yeah, man, it's a great fight. And he said, I'm about to eat yakiniku for the... Listen, enjoy it, man. Enjoy the yakiniku, man. You just even hearing the word yakiniku makes you want to be back in Japan. How do you see the Bud and Canelo fight playing out from your expertise? Well, from the little bit I kind of know about boxing, what I would say is that I think, and I've said this earlier in the live, I think inevitably the fight it may start off as a fight where maybe Crawford tries to box and circle the ring. I think inevitably Crawford is going to feel Canelo's power and timing, and maybe Canelo's slick defense may keep Crawford a little honest. I think the fight's going to develop into a fight of 2 counterpunchers. You're going to see 2 counterpunchers waiting each other out. I think Canelo will land a couple more counterpunches than Terence Crawford will. And I think Canelo Alvarez wins a very uneventful, listless decision of any sort. UD, MD, SD, any sort of decision. I think Canelo wins. And yeah, I don't think it'll be an exciting fight. But I hope I'm wrong. If I could ask for an outcome, I would like to see Terence Crawford stop Canelo, because I think that'd be the most exciting thing to come on here. That'd be the most exciting thing to come on here and have to react to is a Crawford stoppage. The here is also learning real powerful strength from my new friend Kaito and Nakaya Sensei. No USA amateur stuff. Yeah, I mean, as far as power punching, Nakaya Boxing Gym, that's their specialty, power punching. I do think personally that, love them, but, defensively there's some things they need to teach their fighters. But if you're looking to punch through the target and become a more aggressive fighter, it's a great gym. What's in BT's top 3 highlighted fights coming at the end of the year? Okay, I'll actually give you 6 because I'll give you 5 because 2 of them I'm going to name have nothing to do with fights that are announced. So I'll say Yugo Osaki's upcoming fight, Angelo Leo's next fight, whenever that gets announced. So those are the 2 I'm looking most forward to. But I would say Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney is number 1. Stephen Fulton versus Oshaki Foster is number 2. And Christian and Billy versus Lester Martinez be number 3. How about those 3? What's yakiniku, BT? Yakiniku is like it's like Wagyu beef, like red. It's like Wagyu reddish beef. They have a lot of yakiniku restaurants in Japan. It's kind of like Wagyu beef, pretty much. It's amazing, and over there in Japan, it's exceptional. BT, what are your thoughts on Olesius Iglesias versus Vladimir Shishkin? Who do you got? Great fight. It's tough. It's tough because Iglesias ain't fought no one as good as Vladimir. Vladimir is good. Vladimir is a real solid fighter. I think Vladimir should have got the decision and got the nod over William Score, but it wasn't going to happen because he was a B-side fighter. I think it's a good fight. I think I'm gonna go with Iglesias by decision. How about that? Vladimir give him some good work, but Iglesias by decision. Yo, do you be watching them Brand Risk, Aiden Ross boxing events? They're dope. No, I haven't. But I want to because I saw they had my boy Super Hot Fire, one of the OG YouTube influencers back in the day. Apparently he fought, so I'll check him out. But other than that, no. Lord Zed says, I think Crawford is going to box his socks off early like Khan, then Canelo will knock down Crawford and win some rounds, and then Crawford finishes strong. Ooh. I really, really hope we don't get a draw. I'm really praying against a draw. I cannot go through another Canelo versus Crawford build-up. Oh, thanks, BT. That's not... Oh, man, I'm telling you, man. Some of my best memories of Japan are going to yakiniku restaurants with, Angelo Leo and the team when he was out there for the Kameda fight. My other friends in Japan that I know and stuff like that. They're great. They have the way it works too is they have the stoves, right? So when you go there, they have the portable stoves right there. So they give you the beef and you can heat it up yourself and turn it over and cook it however you like it. It's amazing. Love it. I can't keep talking about it because if I keep talking about it, I'm gonna be happy and then I'm gonna be depressed. So let's not talk about it too much. Give me some more boxing questions, guys. Or you know what? I know it's late over there on the East Coast and it's the last hour. Give me some non-boxing questions. I don't care. We're all family here on True School Sports. Unless you're over here starting problems, we're all family here on True School Sports. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock. So soon Hugo gonna have his weight check. So soon Hugo has to weigh in. Every night we weigh in. So Hugo's gonna have his weight check here in about 30 minutes. So I may have to pause the live for a second and go do the weight check. BT, who would you want Brantley to fight now that he's moving to welterweight? Trayshawn Wiggins. How about that? How about we do Brandon Lee versus my main man, Trayshawn Wiggins? Trayshawn Wiggins needs a fight to prove himself. Brandon Lee needs to fight somebody halfway competent. That's a fight right there. And I'll tell you this. If they fight, I'm picking Trayshawn Wiggins by stoppage. I think Brandon Lee's getting put out if they fight. Because I saw Will Madera almost knock out Brandon Lee. And Trayshawn Wiggins is punching harder than Will Madera. He's a better fighter than Will Madera. He's a more craftier fighter than Will Madera. He's got better time than Will Madera. I think Trayshawn Wiggins will do it. And that fight will put Trayshawn on the map. But let's see if the matchmakers believe in Brandon Lee. Who do I have winning the Crocker versus Donovan fight? See, now you're asking real boxing questions because I'll be honest with you, I don't have an answer. I've been wanting to sit down and watch both their fights and take some notes so I can do my own video. I haven't had a chance to do it. I've been so busy running around in camp, so I can't give you an answer. But I'll probably just watch it and see who wins and I'll tell you who the winner is. Eddie Hearn, because apparently they're selling a lot of tickets. Ticket sales are going really, really well. What are my thoughts on Ishmael Davis versus Kyle Agyarko? Who do I got? I'm going to go with Agyarko. I think Yarko's too strong for Davis. Davis is a solid little fighter, but I'll go with Agyarko, I want to see Malinaji versus the Islander Boys on an Aiden Ross card. Maybe that'd be a fun experience to go out to South Florida Go cover a brand risk promotions card one of these days. What do you guys think? True school at brand risk promotions. That'd be new. Who could Mario Barrios actually beat in the top 15? Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know if he has to actually beat any of these guys. They can just keep giving him draws, and he can keep the belt. I don't know, man. I mean, look, Barrios. I give Barrios credit. Barrios got as far as possible with the talent level he has. You know, he's one of them guys that when his career is done, he's not gonna have to worry about, you know, like, did I get the most out of my career? He got everything out of his career and then some. The guy's an overachiever, but yeah, they gotta be careful who they match him with. He said, "I love you, BT. I love you too." Yep, times are changing, BT. Yes, they are. I got beat. No, 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 no. We're not fighting no welterweights. We're not fighting these guys. We're just a YouTuber. We don't do that. You know, we don't do that. Would you take a job breaking down fights or play by play if Aiden Ross asked you? I would. I would. If Aiden Ross came up to me, I mean, I doubt he knows who I am, but if Aiden Ross came up to me and said, you know what, hey, we saw your content, we like how you break down fights, this, that, and the third, we want to pay you to, you know, come commentate some fights, shit, I'd do it. Why not? Why not? He fights the best despite not really being the best, and that's commendable. That's commendable. He fought Ugas, he fought Pacquiao, he fought Abel Ramos. He's fought some good fighters. Broner is lightly fighting Scam lightly. Like, see, these influencer guys, I don't really know them. I know who Super Hot Fire is because he's a YouTube guy. But a lot of these guys that box on these Aiden Ross brand risk promotions events, I don't know these guys. So if I went there, I wouldn't have no. It'd probably be the most objective commentary you could find. Will Puma be a harder fight than Kafu for Bam? Ooh. Will it be a harder fight? I think so. I think Kafu was a complicated fight because he had such a weird game plan. The dude literally just conceded the fact that he wasn't gonna fight in the middle of the ring with Bam Rodriguez because he couldn't fight in the middle of the ring with Bam Rodriguez, and he just stayed in the corner and he just tried. I don't know what his game plan was, but it was weird. So yes, I think Puma's unorthodox. He punches from weird angles. He throws a lot of punches. I think his work rate will give Bam some problems. Tio said in an interview in the Aiden Ross events that the two next guys on his hit list are Shakur and Matias. He finally said his name. Well, he said his name over there because nobody watching that shit knows who Matias is. Everyone who's watching brand risk promotions, except probably you and 10 and 100 other people, they're the only ones who know who Matias is. Matias is a hardcore boxing guy, you know? So he's not going to get pressed about Matias over there. Now, tell him to say that in a true school interview or just any boxing media, and it'll be different, but that's my opinion. BT, Nunez trainer said he wants to show the world he can box. Do you think Nunez will box more and pressure Diaz? I feel like he already showed that. I feel like when he fought Masano Rikishi, he boxed because Rikishi boxed. Rikishi was circling the ring, so Nunez had to actually cut the ring off. So I think he's already shown the world he's capable of boxing. I don't think boxing is his issue. But I mean, if that's what the coach has in mind, then so be it. I think at this point, I haven't seen Pitufo Diaz fight in a while, but I would be led to believe that with more miles on the odometer, that he's gonna get, he's not what he used to be, 3 or 4 years ago. He should stop him. What are my thoughts on Tony Harrison versus Isaac Lucero? I haven't had a chance to watch Isaac Lucero like I want to. I've been hearing great things about him. I heard he's strong as hell. Harrison's last fight, he fought on the Clarissa Shields card. I forgot the guy he fought, but he got clipped. He almost got knocked out. I'm going to tell you guys like this. If this Lucero kid is even 70% as good as from what I've heard, this is it for Harrison. Straight up, this is it. Because he's never had a great chin, but his chin is actually, I think, worse. It's actually bad. he's not a durable fighter, but that's been the MO his whole career. Like Tony Harrison has all the skills in the world, all the talent in the world, but you get him into some later rounds, he makes a mistake defensively, and he gets gotten. That's one guy I have to do my homework on. I haven't seen the Sugar fight yet. Oh, he's amazing. I love Sugar Nunez. Sugar Nunez is probably my favorite Mexican fighter in boxing right now. He's awesome. Hard puncher, heavy hands. I want to see one of these guys at 130 fight him. I want to see Ford fight him. Because Raymond Ford, I like Raymond Ford. He's a good fighter. But it's like Raymond Ford has not had he's had some good performances, but he hasn't had no great performances since, I was on here talking crazy about Odebek Komatov in his fight. So I feel like I got to talk crazy about Ford again for him to start fighting how he's capable of. What's the better fight at 140 in your opinion, BT? Who wins the matchups? Gary Anton Russell versus Matias, Gary Anton Russell versus Pitbull, or Matias versus Pitbull? So Gary Antoine versus Matias, good fight. Good fight. Let's see. That fight, I don't know, man. The fans win that fight. That's a damn fight of the year. That fight, if Gary Anton Russell is durable enough, I think Gary by decision. I think Gary could outbox Matias, but I don't know. That's hard. That's a 50-50 in my opinion. But yeah. Russell or Pitbull, I'll go Russell on that one too. And Matias, Pitbull, I'll go Matias. When BT is not, and so this is a non-box related question. He says, when BT is not doing box related stuff, what's he doing? Biking, skateboarding, fishing, dancing, and salsa? That's a great question, man, because really there's not a lot of time when I'm not doing box related stuff. Because again, I'm not just making YouTube videos anymore. Now I'm in camp with Yuga, and I do help other fighters. Like other fighters call me, and I connect dots for them in their careers and stuff like that. As far as dancing, I mean, I can dance. I mean, I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican, and Cuban by nationality, so dancing is in my blood. I can naturally move, right? But as far as other things I like to do, I like to go. I'm a big time Marlins fan and Florida Panthers fan, so I just spend a lot of time watch my favorite teams play. I like to go running. What else would I like to do? I like to definitely I like to go. It's gonna sound corny. I like to go to parks. I'm a pretty simple guy. I'm not like the most. I'm a pretty simple guy. I like to read. I read a lot. I read a lot. Recently, I've gotten into Bitcoin. That's pretty. I've been getting into Bitcoin recently. So I've been studying up a lot on Bitcoin and all that type of. Because I got friends that do Bitcoin and things like that, and been getting into that recently. So that's been pretty fun. I got to observe Jin's first day back at the gym on Monday. You can see me in the background. Yeah, I saw it, champ. I saw you. I saw the stream. Now I saw that the kid Javion, he deleted his comment, but I saw it. He said that Shushu beats Leo. Listen, man. Hey, Shushu's an awesome fighter. I ain't got no problems with Shushu. I'm cool with Shushu, but I don't think so, champ. Shushu has other routes he can go that are better than Angelo Leo. That's a bad route for him to go. Well, I answered your question. Who wins, Shushu or Leo? Angelo Leo. By stoppage. Have I boxed before? Just training and stuff, sparring. I never competed, but I know how to fight a little bit. I know a little thing or two. When I started boxing, it was just to deal with mental health problems I was having. I was gonna kill myself when I was like 18 years old. So I went to the gym just to deal with shit I was going through in life as a young man. That was it. I wasn't trying to compete. Which fringe promoter do you feel have the potential to be the next major promoter that I've met so far? Which fringe promoter? Who has the most potential? I mean, I guess you could say maybe like a Pro Box. I don't know. They have a lot of potential. They seem to be doing pretty well. The Toxic Avenger mode. I totally forgot about the cartoon now. It's a movie showing my age. Yup. Who do you see Nicholas Flaus beating in the championship level? Well, he has to get to the championship level. He has to get to Pistol Pete Dobson first, and that ain't no cakewalk. Pete Dobson gonna be training hard for that fight. If he can get past Pete Dobson, and then I think he'll probably go the WBA route. Respect, but yeah, man. A lot of people just think like I always say when it comes to being involved in boxing, like whether you're a fighter, manager, promoter, or in this case, covering boxing, serving as a liaison / consultant to other fighters. I always say that if you're involved in boxing to the level I am, you don't choose boxing. Like boxing chooses you, and I feel like boxing has chosen me in a unique way, and I'm just doing the best I can to continue learning. Like today, I was talking to a particular coach who I won't name. I named him earlier in the live, but I won't say his name again because I don't want to give away where we're at. But I was talking to a really high-profile coach today, and he was putting me on game to some things in the boxing business, and you know, you learn things. And I've been so blessed, like, you know, being part of the Angelo Leo camp, and then having fighters that I know that are ranked, going through things, fighters that are champions, fighters that have been champion, lost and then won it back, fighters that are journeymen, fighters that are gatekeepers, fighters that are a hot young prospect, fighters that are in the middle of nowhere of their career. You know, I've seen boxing through the eyes of many different fighters, you know, in their career. So I learned a lot that way. Then it's like all the managers I've talked to over the years, like Peter Kahn and Samson Lukowitz, and even like to a degree Stacey McKinley. Like I've learned about boxing through these guys, and all the traveling and stuff too, like going to Japan, learning the Japanese system, going to Nicaragua, seeing how destitute it is over there, going to England one time, seeing how they teach boxing there, and then all over America. So it's like, I feel like all the experience that I built up over the last almost 10 years has led me to this point now where like I can leverage those experiences to help these fighters, you know? Y'all in the comments talking about girls. You see, my man Reversely says Japan girls are better than Virginia girls. I mean, I like Japanese. I like all the types of women. I don't discriminate. But I don't know, man. I know some cold. I know some cold women in Virginia. You crazy? Floss versus Dobson is a good fight. I'm loving these B-list types of cards. Boxing will stay lit. Yeah, I kind of wish Pro Box would go back to the Wednesday night format. I feel like the Wednesday night format was better for Pro Box, but you know, they have their reasons. What's the next major Saudi fight you'd like to see in 2026 BT? Do you want a big name fight, or do you are just on the edge for fighters like the Shushu card? I really don't like. I'm gonna be honest with you, Falling Star. Like, I really don't want boxing in Saudi Arabia, but you know, it's the era that we're in. So whatever the card they have next, I'm just gonna have to watch it. But yeah, I'm excited for the next Shushu fight. You know, it looks like Angelo Leo and him are it's becoming a thing supposedly. So we'll see. The women here are lovely. I got so tired of seeing so many literal 1s and 2s in the USA. I mean, to each his own. I feel like there's someone out there for everyone. You know, God made more women than men on this planet, so you'll find something that works for you. And I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Damn, y'all going off in the comments. Why you guys are going off on reversing the comments, man? Let the man be. Listen, the man's never been to Japan before. Let him enjoy the scenery, man. Why y'all gotta hate on him? But yeah, we're 90 minutes in, guys. We got half an hour left, so make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel and you like what's going on here on True School Sports, make sure you go ahead and you subscribe. Definitely super chat. I really appreciate that. But we're here just in camp. Wrapping up another day. I think in about another 10 minutes or so, you guys gonna hit me up about this weight check, so I may have to take a break in the action. But I honestly think Kameda could beat Shushu. You know, I like that fight. I think Kameda. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I underestimated Kameda because I mean I watched tons of film on him, but the guy is a smart fighter. The guy's been champion before, and he knew how to not get knocked out. You know, and give himself the best chance to win and fight to his strength the most he could. He's a smart fighter. I think that would be a really good step up in class for Shushu. And look, I'm gonna say it like this: if Shushu can knock his ass out, then that's a statement to me. Because Kameda is not an easy guy to beat, let alone knock out. How do you see the heavyweight division? What do you think it'll be like when Saudis leave? I don't know, man. I feel like when Saudis leave, a lot of the guys that are popular because of Saudi are not gonna be popular. But I don't know, man. But the heavyweight division needs some American. Like I know it's gonna sound like I'm being biased and I'm being like patriotic, but really and truthfully, guys, we need an American heavyweight. There's no American heavyweights, and because of it, heavyweight boxing is not. I mean, it's still good. I mean, they're still good fighters, but it would be better if there was an American heavyweight. So, hopefully, somebody from the USA. Like I told you yesterday, Turkey taking over, and it is better that way. Taking over what? He can't. He can't even win the purse bid. He can't. He ain't even win the purse bid. Taking over what? What is he taking over? He's still. I'm still waiting for Turkey to make these big fights that everyone keeps talking about. He's made like a couple good fights. Y'all acting like he's Don King. Y'all acting like he's Bob Arum. Just got here, and y'all just want to slobber Turkey. Nah, man, give it some time. Make me like, please make Canelo Benavidez. Please, like, I'll shut up. The minute he makes Canelo Benavidez, I'll shut the hell up. Shout out to my man C Miller. He says, ABT, this is the first live I commented on. Love your channel. I dropped some coin on Crawford split decision at 800. Decent bet or no? I think that's actually a very decent bet because I think the fight's going the distance. I think Crawford has the ability to outbox Canelo. I think that, you know, with him being so affiliated with Turkey Al Sheikh and Riyadh season, there's a chance he might, listen, he might get a good decision. Who knows? So shit, do it. And thank you for commenting, man. Thank you for making your presence known. Appreciate all the love and support. That's right. That's right, Pedro. At least you're getting the fights. Yeah, that's right. At least you're getting the fights. At least you're getting the fights. You know? The big fight. We do. you know what Turkey said? He says, we do the big fight. We do Riyadh. You know? We will do Riyadh. They will come. NILs will push a lot of those guys to boxing. NILs like in college? BT, why don't you think Argentina gets the recognition that other countries like US, Japan, Mexico, or UK? They produce a lot of good talent and Ian produced fighters like Carlos Monzon. You know, shout out to Argentina. I think Argentina has definitely earned its place in boxing history as a great boxing nation, but it's because they don't put out the volume of fighters. They put out really good fighters, but like Japan might have like we'll use a lot of weight categories because a lot of these you know fighters from Argentina are in lighter weight categories. So I feel like you know you don't see as many Argentinian fighters in them weight categories. It's because the amount of fighters isn't as high, but they definitely got good fighters. I respect Argentinians. What is your opinion on guys fighting once a year and they are intentionally not engaging most of the fight? It's annoying to me. My opinion on guys fighting once a year is that there's a lot that goes into that. Now, sometimes there are guys that are voluntarily fighting once a year. Like Terrence Crawford is voluntarily fighting once a year because he got to a position where Top Rank was paying him so much money that he could fight once a year, right? So he had no problem with it. And he stayed in shape, he lived in the gym, and he had no problem with it. He was a professional. Some guys fight once a year because they just have bad management and bad promotional contracts. You know, it's a lot that goes into this boxing. It's not everything you guys think. You know, but I wish that that guys would be more like Angelo Leo, like, or just I don't want to say like Angelo, but I wish fighters would be more like, because I know most fighters when they're not active, they just go to the gym and they just train to stay in shape. They don't like actively work on their weaknesses and try to make those weaknesses into strengths. No, it's only a handful of fighters I've seen do that, and those are the guys that I know personally that are like champions. So I wish boxing. I wish boxing, to answer your question, I wish boxing did a better job of having a middle ground. Because in boxing these days, boxing kind of reflects the sign of the times in the world we live in, right? If you look at the American economy, it's either you're rich or you're poor. There is no middle class, right? In the American economy. And it's the same with boxing. There's either big time boxing or there's small time boxing. There's no mid-level boxing, and that's really where like the real elbow work, and that's where the real gems of boxing are found, in that middle ground. You know, back in the day, you had like USA Tuesday Night Fights, you had Showbox. You know, you had these different platforms. Now we do have Pro Box, and I think they are doing a good job, but it feels like Pro Box is trying to become more of like a regular promoter. Which, if they're trying to become a regular promoter, then they're not like, you know, they're not a mid-level promoter anymore. So even they aren't like on that level anymore, because they're trying to ascend to a new level, which they can have their plans, but I kind of wish they would just stay like where they are, because I thought they were serving a great purpose for the sport. Justin mentioned OTX as well. Yes, overtime boxing. Overtime boxing, Pro Box, and probably like Red Owl Boxing. Those are the only three entities that really do like mid-level boxing shows. Everything else is big-time boxing and small-time boxing. And I think boxing needs to really get that part of the sport right from the business standpoint, so that less fighters can have these one-year layoffs, 18-month layoffs, because it's affecting the fighters, it's affecting the quality of their skills, and ultimately it's affecting the quality of fights, which is leaving a lot of boxing fans, the paying customers, dissatisfied. So that's where I stand on that. When is the young Mexico kid you posted fighting again from the Leo camp? You're talking about Fernando Paredes. Shout out to Fernando. To my understanding, he's got a fight, just a little stay busy fight coming up in Mexico, September 20th. And then right now we're actively working on getting him a fight along with some other guys, part of the Leo camp, on DAZN in the coming months after that. So probably like around like November or January, you know, maybe we'll get like Fernando or some of the other fighters on Team Leo a fight on DAZN. That's something we're working on. But right now, just focused on September 20th. Pedro said, I'm tired of seeing Canelo fight British fighters and avoiding good American fighters. That's right. Me too, champ. Me too. You said, man, if Crawford gets slept or even touches the canvas, it's going to be a sad day in the hood. Perhaps so. Perhaps so. It will be. It will be. BT, have you ever seen Guadalupe Medina fight, female boxer? I've seen highlights. Never seen her like a full-length fight. I have seen her spar, because last year I was taking my boy Eric Lanzas Jr. around California sparring, and we were down in LA sparring Jose Zepeda before the Dalton Smith fight, and we saw her there. Short girl, real short girl. Nicaraguan chick, you know, good little fighter, you know. I think Shiraz beat Pacheco. What do you think, BT? Nope. Diego Pacheco, UD. How about that? This ain't Belanga. You know, I've always thought highly of Pacheco, though. Tough fight. Two tall guys. I love that fight. What do you think of her? Yeah, Guadalupe, I mean, like I said, I don't have a deep opinion of her, like, skill set. But from what I saw, it looks like she likes to pressure and come forward, and she's really tapped into social media, and she's fought on a couple of Tom Loeffler shows, so good for her. Let's see what BT thinks. I might get me wrong. What I think of what? He beat an overrated Belonga. I thought dude was chinny before fighting Canelo. I mean, look, Shiraz looks very strong at 68. I'm not gonna discredit him for the winner of Belonga, but I don't like Pacheco. Pacheco is very good, man. I think Pacheco is actually underrated. People will say he's overrated. I think he's underrated, and I think he's the best matchroom boxing USA fighter. Better than Ford, better than Mark Castro, better than who else? All them Matchroom USA guys that they signed straight out of the amateurs. He's the best one they got for sure. And I thought that for years. I've been saying that since 2019, and I'm sticking to my guns. Like Pacheco can outbox you. He can knock you out. Like he's a real boxer puncher. He got real skills. You see Benavidez Pacheco sparring? Sheesh. I never seen him spar. C. Miller says, well, no. To answer that previous comment, I've seen clips. I've seen clips of Benavidez and Pacheco sparring. That shit looks crazy. Crazy. C. Miller says, I'm from Nashville, so I got to give a shout out to Country Box. Little local promotion, but so wholesome. They had an event tonight, free on YouTube. Shout out to Country Box, man. They're another one. They're a very small promotional company. I used to talk to one of the ladies that runs Country Box because I was trying to get one of my friends a fight on Country Box last year, but it just didn't make sense at that point. But yeah, they listen. They put the heart and soul to all their shows. I know they don't make a lot of money off those shows, but they really are in it for the sport. So, shout out to Country Box, Nashville. Nashville, Tennessee. I ain't never been to Nashville. Nashville, Tennessee is probably like one of the top 3 American cities I want to visit that I haven't gone to yet. Because I've been to a lot of the top cities in America. I got a lot of friends that go to like Nashville and stuff, and they always tell me like Nashville is where it's at. And Nashville is like an awesome city with great people and great atmosphere, great food, and just good vibes. So I want to go check out Nashville some point in the future. Chris says, I've been watching Diego since 2018, but he's going to struggle to beat the 168 elites. I think Shiraz beats him soundly. He's levels. Ooh. Okay. I still don't. I mean, I respect your opinion because you've been watching Pacheco, but nah, man. I'm gonna hold my judgment on Shiraz. Like, I give him his due. He beat Belonga, and truth be told, I underestimated him. My dumb ass picked Belonga to win. Because I like Belonga, but Belonga is not bringing as much to the table as Pacheco. So I'm gonna reserve my judgment on Hamza. He ain't fought no one that can box like Diego. I think Diego outpoints him. I don't think he'll knock him out, but I think he'll outpoint him. But he should fight Belonga next. But let's be real, guys. Let's put the manager's hat on for a second, because Keith Connolly is Belonga's manager, right? Very astute manager. Belonga just got knocked the fuck out and embarrassed in front of the whole world against Shiraz. He's not putting him there with Diego Pacheco. I remember before Belonga ever fought Shiraz, like last April or May. I interviewed him and I asked him if we could do Belonga versus Pacheco, and he was like, no. Like, it was a hard no. I met Shiraz, the public workout in Times Square, and I told him he destroyed Edgar. That fight was a mismatch beyond belief. It turned out to be just that, my friend. You are 100% correct. You are 100% correct. Well, you know what I will say is this. It was a mismatch. It wasn't a mismatch. When Edgar was boxing, it was fine. But the minute Edgar opened up and started exchanging, then that's when the mismatch began. Because I thought the first 2 rounds, Edgar boxed pretty well. But Edgar, just, IQ wasn't there. BT, I thought Turkey was hosting the Matias versus Smith fight. Well, I don't know. He might still host it. I'm not sure how that works. Maybe he might still host it, because Matias people still got to go fight. They got to go find a TV broadcaster. So it might start to go to Riyadh, but Matias people won the purse bid, so They can, if they can figure out a way to fight in Puerto Rico, wherever they want to fight, they can do that. They got the means to now. They got the rights to the fight. They got the first and last rights refusal on the fight. So the ball is on their court. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure y'all smash that like button. We got 15 minutes left, guys. Then I gotta get ready for bed, and then get ready for another beautiful day of camp here in Camp Osaki as we get closer and closer towards the next fight, which I can't talk about, but I want to talk about, but I can't talk about it. Okay. Nasty work for Eddie Hearn to allow his man Dolphin to be outbid. I mean, Eddie, it's not the first time Eddie Hearn has done this. He did the same thing with Ford and Komatov. Ford was a guy that he signed out the amateurs, right? Put all this money into, and he lost the purse bid to Top Rank, who didn't even have Komatov. They literally signed Komatov just for the specific purposes of winning the purse bid, and they won the purse bid. So Eddie has done this before. If you're not Canelo, if you're not AJ, if you're not one of them guys, they're not gonna put that money up. Sebastian says, BT, have you saw Inoue versus Picasso is done deal? Oh my god. Yo, I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Hearing the fact that Inoue is going to fight Picasso, it makes me want Mirja Akhmadaliev to knock him the fuck out. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That fight is so pointless. It is so unnecessary. Picasso is not on that level. Picasso could barely beat a Corkin Hall fighter in Kiyonosuke Kameda. That fight, for lack of a better term, is so unbelievably gay. I don't want to see that fight. Why? Why are we getting Inoue versus Picasso? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Like, just, oh my god, bro. Why are we doing this? Can he just fight Merjan and just rest until May? Like, why is Ohashi and the Japanese, why are they so insistent upon making these guys fight so many times that one of them is just gonna have to lose and have the Inoue and Nakatani fight go up in smokes? Why do they insist upon such stupid and foolish things? Why are they wasting everybody's time? They've been like I like Inoue and I love watching him fight and he's worth our time, but the opponents recently have been a waste of time. And Picasso is one of the biggest wastes of time. I swear to God. So they're gonna do what they want to do. They are wasting the last valuable fights of his prime on Picasso. Such a terrible fight. No, I didn't hear it, but thank you. Let that Japanese man make his money. What? Reverse Lee. He's been making money. Inoue is loaded. Are you crazy? Inoue is one of the richest men. Yeah, man, when I went to the Inoue Cardenas press conference, this dude had a piece of jewelry on his hand. It was like, on his wrist. He had a bracelet from like here to here. It was one of the gaudiest pieces of jewelry I ever seen. He ain't here for no dollars. Inoue's making money. So what do you mean let that Japanese man make his money? He got Family Mart putting logos and sponsorships on the ring. He ain't struggling. He got the NTT Docomo sponsorship. He ain't struggling. Why? Picasso is not good. I swear on my life, man. If I get a chance to talk to Ohashi or Han, I'm gonna tell him myself. Like, what is this? This is gay. It's terrible. It's one of the gayest fights of all time. I'm gonna tell him just like that. Like, what are we doing? Like, Picasso just fought a guy. I just watched Picasso fight on the undercard of Pacquiao versus Barrios, right? Prelims. He just fought Kiyonosuke Kameda, right? Kiyonosuke Kameda is a Corkin Hall fighter. He is a domestic Japanese level fighter. And I did not see a gap in class between the two fighters. Wait. Okay. I did not see a gap in class between the two fighters. So it's like, I don't like that fight, man. And I'm so serious. If they're going to play these tacky games before the Nakatani fight, then it's not going to make me upset if Inoue gets knocked out. If Inoue gets knocked out, I'll be all right. I'll be okay with it. Like, cause Picasso is such a waste of time. Like, Inoue is not a prospect. Inoue is one of the best fighters in the world. You don't need to put him in there with Picasso to make sure that he's okay. Like, just look. The guy's been fighting a lot. Let him fight Merjan, and let him rest till May. Cause I'm telling you, you know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you guys what's gonna happen. He's gonna fight Picasso. He's gonna beat Picasso, but Picasso's a rugged guy. I guarantee you. And you can you can screen record this part, screen record this whole part right here if you want to. I guarantee you, if he beats Merjan and fights Picasso, he's gonna injure his hand or his shoulder or something, and they're gonna say that he can't go to featherweight because he has to fight Nakatani, but he can't fight Nakatani in May because he's injured. No. Forget Picasso. Why don't you let Picasso go fight someone and actually prove that he's worth his ranking, because he ain't really proven anything, and that's what it could be. But no, we have to do Picasso. So I'm to the point where Inoue was like, you know what, I'm a big fan, but like the matchmaking is pissing me off. His matchmaking has been pissing me off for the last like year. I hope I'm not gonna be mad if Merjan just knocks him out the ring. When I go to Vegas, I rock my best jewelry too. Nobody knows it's fake. But Inoue's jewelry ain't fake. I'm telling you right now, that shit was glistening a certain way when you know it wasn't fake. Picasso has a similar build to Nakatani, like when he fought Jan Boyo before McDonald. Picasso. Yeah, do Picasso versus Yi Jun Kim. Do that fight. I'll be honest with you. I'm not. Can Picasso beat Yi Jun Kim? I don't know. I just saw him fight a Corkin Hall fighter and go life and death. When he fought Kiyonosuke Kameda, I didn't see this massive gap in class. Like, when you're fighting a guy like that, you're supposed to show levels. You're supposed to show, okay, I'm here. I am, maybe I'm not a champion, but I'm one of the top super bantamweights in the world, and you are a fringe contender. And I didn't see that. I saw a close fight. Fight Yi Jun Kim. Yi Jun Kim can punch. You're not the caliber of fighter Inoue is. Yi Jun Kim ain't no punk. He'll go in there, he'll let his hands fly. Picasso. Dude talking about some I study during camp and then I train. Nah, man. Listen, man. You fight Inoue, you getting turned into a full-time college student. I don't want to hear it. You know? And I'm not knocking nobody for furthering their education. Like, boxing's a unstable business. I was just telling a fighter this in the gym today. I was telling this amateur fighter today in the gym because he's from the UK and he had his degree. He went to school and stuff, and he's a young kid. He's just now getting his feet wet. He's here in training and whatnot. And I was telling him, I was like, hey, it's not bad to have an education, but like like, boxing's a jealous woman. You can't be out here unless you're Sebastian Fundora or Vladimir Klitschko. For the most part, you can't be out here, you know, going to school and being a fighter. It's just too much. It's too demanding. Certain people can. But Picasso, listen, you fight Inoue next, you go into school full time. I'm saying that straight up. You go into school full time. Picasso is like 2 levels below Neri. Yeah, my God. Make Picasso versus Cardenas. I agree. Just do anything you want. Do anything but make him fight Inoue, please. I just watched the guy fight. I know I'm talking in circles a lot. I know I'm repeating myself a lot. Yeah, like you fought a Corkin Hall fighter. Like, you can talk about we gonna fight Inoue. Like, watch. Inoue's gonna go through hell with Merjan. It's gonna be a hard fight. He's gonna have this quick turnaround. He's either gonna get injured in camp or he's gonna get injured in the fight. And the Nagatani fight will get pushed back. Watch. Maybe he wants Inoue to pay his tuition for the next. You know what? See, this is why you guys are smart. You guys are the smart ones. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this fight isn't about boxing. Maybe it's not about legacy. It's about education. It's about getting his degree and all these kind of things. So, hey, shout out to him. Pay your tuition, champ. But just whatever you do, don't ask me to be excited for that fight. Don't ask me to talk positive about that fight, because I'm telling you guys, the minute that fight is, I'm shitting on that fight. I'm shitting on that fight to no end. I don't want to hear about him being WBC number one. He's never he didn't beat anybody to become WBC number one. Who did he beat? He just fought a Corkin Hall, domestic level Japanese fighter, and went life and death with him. So I want to hear it when it comes to Picasso. But yeah, man. What else you guys got for me? I got 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna have to get ready for bed here in a second. But it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. These lives are always a pleasure, and you guys definitely are a highlight of my day. Picasso has the same resume as Shushu, but they got a problem with Shushu fighting Inoue. You know, and I hate to call it out because I ain't the one to play the race card, but shit, was it because he's a brother? Like y'all want to hate on Shushu because he's black? Like why does Picasso? Why is it okay that Picasso can fight Inoue, but Shushu can't fight Inoue? Picasso goes to interviews talking about Inoue, and it's not cloud chasing. But Shushu goes in interviews talking about Inoue and it's cloud chasing. They're both #1 contenders unjustly by sanctioning bodies. They both ain't fought no one. They ain't really beat no one, and they both have a lot more to prove. BT, can you give one explanation that he's #1? He's Mexican. He's always at the WBC convention and conferences. You know what? That sounds about right, champ. I tell fighters all the time. I was actually telling someone that helps run Yuga's career. I was telling them that that going to those conventions is very important. I was actually talking about going to the WBO convention in Colombia myself. I want to go, but it's all these things cost money. So I was explaining to people on Team Osaki that it's important. You can't just rely on your promoters to go there because they may lobby for you, they may not. It's better when you go there and you show your face and you make the connections. BT, what are your thoughts on Osaka versus Angola? The same. Whatever I said last time, my thoughts haven't changed. It's an absolutely terrible fight. I would put it on the same level of being a waste of time as Inoue versus Picasso. Boots versus Lima is on the same level, but we're not going to talk about that. We did multiples of lives last month talking about that. I don't want to beat a dead horse. I've talked about that enough. But whatever I said last time is applicable to right now. Victor Valdez says Canelo by KO round 7-10. Okay. Shout out to you, champ. I got Canelo by decision of any sorts. UD, SD, or MD. So, yep. Yo, who was it that said that about the conventions? My man Sebastian. You know what you're talking about, because that's exactly why some of these fighters get title shots. I'm not gonna say no names, right? I'm not gonna say no names, but I knew of a fighter in a particular weight class who was a mandatory for a long time, and I saw his representative talk to someone from the WBA and get him a title shot right in front of my eyes. Like, I literally saw this person's representative say, "Hey, such and such, can you give such and such a title shot by this date?" And the guy said yes, and they did it. And the person that was talking was a girl, and the guy that worked for the sanctioning body was a guy. And she softened her voice, and she got all sweet, and she put her shoulders in. She was like, "Could you get my guy a title shot?" And her guy got a title shot. But the unfortunate thing was the guy that she got a title shot was kind of trash, so he didn't win. But that's boxing. I've seen how these conventions work. I know how these deals get done. It's like politics, man. It's literally just like politics here in our nation's capital of Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill. It's the same shit. BT, my last question. Will you be in Vegas during Canelo Fight Week or maybe Anthony Olasquaga? No, I will not be in Vegas at all for any Canelo Fight Week festivities because my priority is being with the future face of Japanese boxing, Yugo Osaki. We're in camp. We got a fight coming up that I can't talk about, and I can't talk about the date because it's not out there yet, but there's a fight. Date and opponent, and yeah, so I'm here with him, and I'm gonna be helping him to the best of my abilities. She gave that mouth up for a title shot, and he lost. Well, I didn't see her do that part you're talking about, but you know that's never out of the realm of possibility. I mean, there was a lot of alcohol at this particular convention in this particular place we were in, so it's possible, but I would say I'm not gonna say yes or no. I don't know, and I don't want to know. I just saw her say, "Hey," she said, "Hey, can you give me a title shot? Can you give my guy a title shot?" And the guy was like, "Yes." Is that how Eric Rosa got a shot? Um, these conventions mean a lot, man. I've seen it. I've seen it, man. I've seen fighters get the rankings dropped just for not showing up. It's crazy because a lot of these sanctioning bodies don't. If they don't know you, they're gonna have less of a problem dropping you in the rankings if they have reason to. You know, so it's all relationships. It's all politics. It's all bullshit. He said, "Wait, they're giving up cheeks at the WBA convention." I didn't say what's. Listen, I didn't say what convention it was. It could have been WBC. It could have been WBO. It could have been WBC, or it could have been WBA. We don't know. I didn't say the sanctioning body, champ. But what I will say is this. All I can tell you is this. When you have um, hotels full of highly influential adults and a lot of alcoholic beverages available for consumption, nothing is out of the realm of possibility. So it's possible. It's really, really possible, you know? But I'm not accusing nobody. When and where is the next one? Um, the next one is in Bogota, Colombia, and it's the WBO convention, and that's going to be later on in October. So I believe it's like October 21st or October 22nd. That's the next one. I know normally towards the end of the year, normally around December is the WBA convention. So, and I'm not sure what that one is this year, but I know the next one is going to be um, in Colombia, WBO. Damn BT, I'm scared now. Collazo fights in Osaka in the future. We're gonna be opposite corners. Hey, it's all love, man. Listen, it's all love, man. You know, you gotta support Oscar Collazo. You know, may the best man win. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. I ain't in camp where you're gonna lose, and I don't lose. I do a lot of things in life, but when I'm in these camps, guys I'm with don't lose. So, you know, if we ever had the honor to fight Oscar Collazo, because it would be an honor because he's a great fighter, I'm very confident we win. You know, respectfully. Is it true that Xander will be fighting Santion? That's a rumor. Nothing's been confirmed yet. And reversely says, I am not going to Colombia. Shit, I want to go to Colombia. Shit. Maybe some friends out in Colombia. I actually know a couple boxing people out in Colombia. Like I know one guy who owns a gym out in Colombia. Yeah, I want to go to Colombia. Shit, why not? But I would rather go to a convention in the States because it'd be easy to get to. If I told you that I allegedly did Colombian coffee with Roberto Duran in LA at the Crawford management fight, would you believe me? I mean, Colombian coffee. wait a second. Is that code for like Coke? I hope not. Don't be doing that, champ. You know, those things open up demons in your life that you don't need. But as far as you being Duran in LA, nah, that's believable. But Duran goes to a lot of boxing events. He's pretty cool. Wait, the Santion Norman B? Yes, the Santion and Norman B. Yes, they're talking about Xander Zayas. Santion going from 47 to 54 to fight Xander Zayas. And Santion, I believe, only had like maybe like one or two fights since the Norman fight. He's 2-0, so he's back to winning ways, but he ain't really been in like a notable fight since the Norman fight. But guys, listen, I would love to sit here and make this a 5-hour live. Unfortunately, I can't chit chat with you. I have to go to bed because I'm in training camp, and I have to be responsible and have energy for the next day because things always change, plans change, and you never know who you're gonna run into. So I gotta be mentally sharp. But listen, guys, it was a pleasure. I'm not sure when the next live will be, but just keep supporting the channel, keep watching all the videos. I really do appreciate you guys today's the 2nd, so September 5th, which is later on this in a couple days. September 5th will be the completion of my 10th year in boxing. So we're gonna do a special like 10-year celebration stream. 10 years in boxing. Can you believe it? And I'm only 30, guys. I'm only 30 and I've been in boxing 10 years. So that'll tell you everything you need to know. But that being said, listen, special live on that day. Maybe we'll do a live before that day. But either way, thank you guys. Take care. God bless. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.